Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling, magic Monday. Sorry, I had to think about that for a minute. Sorry for being on a little late. We had technical issues. We had to reboot the Wi-Fi, the computer. We just had to reboot. That was as simple as that. But we're here. We've made it. And the sun is setting nicely. And oh, this is me, Ziffy sitting up there. Sorry, laying up there on the outside of her bed with her chin resting on the edge of the bed, watching the sunset, even though the sun is over there and she's looking that way. So, how was your Magic Monday? What magic did you create today for the rest of the week? I got some great stuff put into place today. Got a lot of productivity done. Yeah, it was very productive today with some things, and got to do some more training on a new software and that I'm looking at implementing in my business. So it was very exciting to be able to do some of that. Got work done for a client. I was on the help chat today. So I've had a very full, very busy day. And right now I am tired and I've got a niggly headache. Just one of those ones that's like about right here. And it's just enough to let you know that it's there. And it can't be dehydration because I've been drinking so much water lately, and with the electrolytes as well, to make sure that I don't dehydrate, because I found that the last time I got the really bad pounding headache was because I was dehydrated. Yes, I was drinking all the water and everything, I just wasn't replacing the electrolytes. So I'm making sure I'm staying well hydrated with electrolytes, and water in between all of the electrolyte stuff. So it's been a very, very, very steady, productive day. So it's kind of been fun. I've really enjoyed today, despite getting a little niggly headache right in here. Maybe that could be sinus. Let's see. Wiggle that around a little bit. Yeah, it could be sinus. The air quality around here at the moment is not the greatest right now. So that's why we stay inside with the ACs on and everything else. Well, everything's. She's busy watching out the window, seeing if she knows anybody. So, so I did some training on some new software I'm looking at implementing into my business. That was, at lunchtime today. So, work for a client, work on some software, go work on the chat. So it's been a very full day, not really a lot of breaks in between, which could also be why I've got the niggly headache too. But it's just one of those things, and we'll just deal with it and get it over with and make it an early night tonight and get a good night's sleep, and we'll be right as rain in the morning. I thought about something earlier today that I was going to talk to you guys about, and I totally forgot what it is, so it can't have been important, or I would have remembered. So our tell your story question today was for generations reading your journals, your stories, and that years from now, what words of wisdom are you going to pass on to them? What do you want them to know? And it could be, something like, what are your words of wisdom? What are the pillars that you live by? Everybody has, you always have your foundation there, and then you have your pillars, and then there's the roof on the top. And so what pillars do you live by? Are you a person of integrity? Are you a person who is always helping others? Are you a person who does random acts of kindness? Are you a person who loves adventure? What are the pillars in your life that you live by? Mine is always super fantastic and sparkling. And yes, I will put that in my story and tell them how it all came about, how I earned the right to say that, because I felt like I really did earn the right to say that. That was something that I actually learned that saying from a person who was a director of sales for me when I was working for Marriott. I was in the sales office, and I really liked it. So when I went to my new job within Marriott, I started using that, but it just didn't feel right. It didn't sit right. I thought, that's a really dumb thing to type at the end of an email. And it wasn't until we actually arrived, so then I stopped using this before Brad's cancer was discovered. Then after he was diagnosed and everything, after everything we went through that first 18 months, and then we moved out to LA in 2010. And our first day in LA, we went to the restaurant that night for dinner. We actually went to a diner. It was actually pretty cool. It's one of our favourite places. It's since closed, which is a bummer because it was a really good place. They had really good fresh baked stuff because they had a bakery there too. And we went to the diner and that, and as we walked to the table, someone said, "Oh, how are you doing today?" I said, "Well, it's super fantastic and sparkling, thank you. How are you?" And it just came out, it just flowed off the tongue, smoothest thing. And it was the first time I had actually used it as a response that when somebody asked me how I was. And as I'm sitting down at the table, I thought, oh, I have arrived. I have earned the right to say that, because now it felt comfortable. It felt part of me. And so it was, you've got to find what is your quirk, your saying, your something that is unique to you, that feels right, that if other people go, "Oh, that's really cool," a lot of people say to me, "Oh, that's such a cool answer, can I use it?" I say, "Go for it," and they never do, because to them it doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right with them. Yes, they may enjoy hearing it, but it doesn't sit right. So what's some saying that you do that makes you unique, that makes you stand out? Put that in there for your words of wisdom, that you want to pass on to your kids. How did you get to that point of being of either coming up with that saying or using that saying? When was the first time you used that saying? Think about things like that. What is unique about you? What makes you stand out from the crowd? And that's one piece of wisdom I'm going to pass on to my future generations, is that, we're all individuals. We are all unique in our own special way. And, we weren't born to blend in. We were born to stand out. So what are you going to do to stand out in a way that benefits society? So, things like that. What words of wisdom can you impart? I love thinking of, if I could write a book today and hand to my grandkids, what do I want them to know about life? I have a lot of ideas. So, and this one, I came up with the idea of actually putting it into a story so they could learn from the story about the lessons that I would like to impart on them. Whether they take heed of it or not, I don't know. But it'd be a really cool gift, I think, to leave behind, is passing along your words of wisdom, even passing along your story. Your story is great because now they can relate something to you. You have pictures in there from your childhood all the way through. And I have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of pictures. My mum says my dad's busy scanning all of their photographs, and I know that they have a lot. And so I was just sort of like, well, I want copies. And so my mum says, we're not mailing them over to you. There's too many of them. She said, you'll have to come down here and visit and take them back with you. And I'm sort of like thinking, no, I don't want the originals, because what am I going to do with them? But I'll take the electronic copies. I want a full set of electronic copies, not just the pictures I'm in. I want the full set, so that I have my parents' wedding pictures there. I have pictures of my brothers growing up and that sort of thing. So, if you can't remember things, take out photographs. Go and have a look back at your photographs over the years and stuff. Pull them out. What do you remember about that photograph? What was happening in that time? And you can use that to tell your story. It's sort of like, use a photograph as a prompt to write. Pull out a photograph at random and go, oh, I remember when that was taken. Like, I've got one of me there with this, and I kid you not, I was 11, and I had on a full camping backpack. This is before the light ones came out. This was the full metal frame on the back. We had extra padding on the shoulders. It was packed up. I was in my shorts and t-shirt and my jersey or sweater and my tramping boots on, all ready to go up, because my class was going to be the first one to go and camp on Mount Taranaki. Be the first school to go up there and camp on Mount Taranaki, and it had been all over the news in the region, and so we were ready to go and do that. And so my mum made us stand in front of the car with my brothers, and we had a picture taken with me standing there with this full backpack, and it was a full adult backpack on my back, all completely packed. We had instructions on what goes where in our backpack and how to pack our backpack, and our sleeping bags and all of that sort of stuff. So it was a very full backpack, and we're only going up there we meant to go up there for 4 nights. Yeah, 4 nights. And so I was ready to go. So I remember that picture, and I remember the story about that trip, how we got rained out the first night. We had to come, and we had some parents come up and pick us all up and take us back to our homes that evening. The next day we all met at school, and we had all the tents out, and we dried everything out, and we went back up again on Thursday and came home on Friday. So I remember all of that that took place. It was just a really cool trip. So, that would be a photo I would pick out and pull out and tell the story about why I was wearing that backpack and the adventure that we had, that week with our camping up on the mountains. So it was, just take out pictures like that. We've got other pictures from when we were camping at different locations and stuff. And yes, I could tell you the stories behind those pictures too, about who was there and what we did and where we stayed and what sort of activities we got up to at the campground. Even looking back through this past year when Zephy and I were traveling, my thing when I got to a campground was set up sparkles, and then we'd go outside and we would take a picture of sparkles in her new slot for a couple of nights a week, whatever, however long we were staying. And then Zephy and I would go for a walk to explore the campground, find the off-the-leash area. When we remembered, we did a live from the off-the-leash area, so you could see the new play area that Zephy had. And some were really, really tiny and like a 10 by 10 square with a corner taken out for the double gate area. Other ones were very, very spacious. So, we did the lives from those. And, we can talk about some of the people that we met at that campground and some of the fun that we had while we stayed at that campground. And maybe if there's anything unusual that happened there, we could tell that story too. So going back through photographs is a really great way to remember the past, to write those stories down so it's not just a photograph that you have. And people pick up this photograph later on, and on the back you may have written who's in the photograph. But to be able to take that photograph and write a story to go with it. Just think, and each story is a chapter in a book. It doesn't have to be in order. You could put it in order later on. But what a great way that, these pictures are from this particular trip. This is where we went. This is what we did. One of the stories I'm going to have in there is about our trip from Vegas to Moab, because it was such a mental game with me that day. Where I was just like one canyon after another, after another, after another. It was like an 11.5-hour drive. In a car, it's like 6 hours. It took us 11.5 hours to get to Moab in the RV. And we were literally going up one side of the canyon, across the top, down the other side, across the floor of the canyon, up. And I can't tell you how many, it got to the point where they were just blurring one into the other. Yes, there was great vistas at the top of each canyon when we got there, and you get to the top of the other one. But I got to the point, it's sort of like, oh, that's a pretty view. And inside I'm going, oh, crap, we've got another canyon. And I look across and it's sort of like, yep, there's the other side over there. We're going to go across this floor and go back up the other side. And I'm like, how many more have they got? And I remember looking down at the GPS on the phone and thinking, it's not moving. Those miles are not coming off. And I started having this real mental battle in my head about, I am done with this. I'm going to pull this RV over the side of the road and walk away. I am done. And then my dad would say something to my mum, or my mum would say something to my dad, and it's sort of like, crap, I have my parents with me. I can't do this. I got to keep going. So if it had been me by myself, I probably would have pulled over the side of the road, had a good cry, go and laid down and had a snooze, or found where the nearest rest area was and gone, pulled in there and had a sleep or something, and then moved on. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But I wouldn't have walked away, because I had no other way to get anywhere, because we had no car with us. So, just adventures of stories and stuff. So look, if you're looking for inspiration and stories, and, if I bring up a question of the day and you're sort of like, yeah, I don't really know, or I can't remember or something, pull your photographs out and have a look through them. Look through yearbooks. And go, oh my gosh, yes, I remember, blah, 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 blah. Write it down. Record it. If you don't want to write, pick up a little Houdiki, one of these little digital recorders. This thing is awesome. I carry it with me, and I have a little pouch that sits about here, and I've pulled up when I put the pouch on, I pull it up a little bit so it sits about here, and this can't go anywhere, so it's sort of like my little holder, and it's a one-touch button thing by that time. You turn it on, and then I just need to press the little red button while I'm driving, and I can just start talking. And if I want to stop, I just press the little stop button. So it's just these two little buttons. I can just reach up, press it, whatever, and it just sits in this little pouch. It sits about here, and I can talk into it while we're driving. While I'm driving sparkles. So it's very hands-off type of thing. It's hands-free. It doesn't have Bluetooth in it though. Because my phone is being used as my GPS, so I can't use that to record. And to record on my phone, I've got to find the voice memo app, turn it on, and all that stuff. And that's frigging around with the phone while you're driving. Yep, no, that ain't going to happen. So this It's just two little, and I turn it on before we leave. So when I'm ready, I just reach down, I press the little red button on the left, on the right, and when I'm finished, I press the little square button right next to the little red button. And because they're right next to each other right here, I can just feel around and go, okay, there's my 4 buttons. This is my record. This is my stop. And I can do that. And if I need to quickly check, because it has a little light that comes on when it's recording, I can just quickly pull it up, have a look, slot it back into this little pouch. So it's just, I don't want to be distracted when I'm driving too much. And there's times I'm driving, I'll just start talking. I have hours recorded. I just press that little button. I'm just talking, and I'm talking to the dog. I'm looking at I'm describing the scenery as we're going through it. It could be some funny street name like Sawfinger Road, which is back on the 10 there somewhere at exit 50, 58, 63. Oh, it's on the 10. I can't remember what the exit number it is. But, there's one called Sawfinger Drive. And then, so it's just talking about the things that we're seeing. And then sometimes something will spark an idea. And so I'll rattle off that idea while I'm driving. And it's all getting recorded. So sometimes I will press the record button and the stop button doesn't get pressed until we get to a rest area, which could be an hour and a half away. So I have 90 minutes of recording. Sometimes there's a few minutes of silence in there because I can't think of anything to say. Or I forget that the recorder's on and I just drive. And then I just start talking again. So some of them have some long pauses in there. But anyway, totally off track. No, actually, no, that was a good segue, that one. Good change, good squirrel moment. But anyway, I got to go take a DOG for the WALK. Ooh, she's looking at me now. And the wind is picking up because my awning is about to go. So I have to go rescue the awning, get that rolled in before it does any moments. It's getting there. It's doing little lifts. I'm just waiting for the gust to go. But anyway, that's it. I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your Monday. And we will catch you guys back here tomorrow morning for Tune Up Tuesday. Hey, got it up.